This is fine. That was a cute sound. It's like Wall-E. Unless you do want to just chime in with the robot voice filter on. I think that would be funny. Putz' only critique on the episode was he wanted more grace.
Is it normal? Okay.
You are normal.
What the heck? That was so weird. I was on robot. Okay.
I'm so curious what it sounded like. I know I don't want you to have to go through the pain of resetting that. I can tell. Yeah. All right. Welcome back to another episode of Just Jossin' Around. Today, my guest is Tyler Walsh. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited.
I'm excited too, even though you told me that you just came from radio, so you've just talked for, I don't know how long you talk on the radio.
I like talking.
Okay.
A couple hours, but there's 5 people though, so it's not much.
How do you
talking.
get a word in with 5 people?
I don't much. Make sure it's real interesting when I say something.
I get anxiety when it's like a conversation with like a third person. I'm like, I have trouble volleying.
Oh, I totally feel that.
Yeah.
The whole time it's like a chess game. You're like, should I say something now?
Yeah.
Should I move now?
And then it's like the humiliation of like starting a sentence and then someone cutting you off. That's just got like a more dominant personality.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
Like, you just take it. I don't care.
You go back to your kennel.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
I don't know why I tried. I don't know. I have a random variety of topics to talk about, but I wanted to bring up when we had Megan on, she brought up something very interesting, and that was that me and you have something in common, and it's that we trust the leaders at Supercuts.
Trust? I wouldn't say trust. I settle. But yes, I do. I told the sports clips gal lady that she could. I said, just do it. You're an artist. Do what you feel. And Megan's like, they don't want to know. They're not art. I'm just like, do what
feels right for you.
Yeah, and they're like, no, we don't do that. You pay us your $18 and tell us what you want.
It's a good deal.
Yeah,
I rolled the dice happily. The only thing is, I will say, they messed up my eyebrows. My eyebrows are healing just fine now, but. Yeah, I like going in there. I mean, I try to stick to the same person, but you can't rely on that.
I roll it every time. Yeah, I never pick. I'm like, roll me out, whoever you got, let's do it. And then they look at the notes. I'm just like, yeah, artistic liberty. You go for it.
Like, and even when they botch it, I'm still tipping.
Oh, yeah,
because I'm like, you know what, this I don't know, the haircut, it's just too cheap and I feel bad. I feel like I'm stealing from them.
They messed up last time though because they told me I have a receding hairline.
Do you?
And no, I don't think so. Megan's been inspecting it and she's like, I think they were just looking at your widow's peak, and so today I'm going to a real barber. I set it up this afternoon.
Oh, wait, today you're going to a barber?
I'm going to a legit barber. First one in Omaha.
Wow, that's
First
crazy.
time I'm going away from the corporate life.
I don't know, that's scary, but honestly, good for you. That's big ups in life.
But you could Google barbers in Omaha and find everything. Specific names, this person's experience, all that.
That's nice.
You can't, sports clips, super cuts, they're not like, yeah, Janelle has been doing this a year and a half.
You're lucky if you get a first name.
Yeah, she's in school right now. She's going to get it figured out.
She's just trying it. She's giving it a whirl. Whenever I go, they usually, like, I've been trying to grow my hair out, and whenever I go, they're like, we got to just cut it all. It's, like, not good. You have bad hair. And then I'm like, okay. And
they just take it from you?
Honestly, yeah. I feel that's why I just stopped. I haven't gotten my hair cut in a really long time because when I go, I feel like I'm just shamed. And then they're like, you have to start over.
Were you a product of home haircuts?
I have had my friends give me haircuts before.
Your friends?
Yeah, I know, that's scary. Well, during COVID, everyone was like watching videos on how to cut hair. And so my friend was like, I think I've seen enough YouTube videos. I can do this.
How did you feel afterwards?
I felt good, but I also couldn't see the back of my head. And it was definitely choppy.
And it's a really smack to your friends when you're like, the world's open again. I'm headed to Supercuts. I'm not about this rough life I've been living.
And also, I didn't realize there was a difference between scissors and hair scissors.
Oh, yeah. I think I knew that. And I should be the last person to.
Well, they're a finer, heavier. It's not like school scissors.
Were you just cutting construction paper and then like, all right?
I feel like my hair is also the consistency of construction paper, though, so maybe it was fine. Did you get a lot of home haircuts?
Yes, I was a home hair cutter, and then I was a myselfer for a while.
That's.
I would $12 wall hair clippers from Walmart. And
just shave it all off.
Oh yeah,
bald.
I did that for buzzed.
Buzz, sorry, not bald.
And I did do bald a couple times, but that's way too much work.
That's intense.
Yeah, I can't. Look, I cut myself shaving my face. So think what. And who's ever cut themselves that bad? That's
it's
like
pretty
a quarter
deep.
size.
It's pretty. I saw when you posted on Facebook, it was very bloody.
Yes, I make disposable razors go way too long. Like I'll be, the strip there, it's all white. There's no colored strip on there. Changing, it's done. And then I felt it. It caught a little bit, and I kept going. And I was like, I took off half my face.
That's crazy. I couldn't not that you have this problem, but I couldn't shave my knees for a while because the bend.
You don't know my legs. You don't know what I'm doing.
I didn't want to assume. I was like, this might just be a me thing. But, no, anytime I have to take a razor over a bend, something's getting nicked. Something's getting cut.
That's going to happen.
The men's disposable razors are, 10 times better than the women's, though. I do lean towards.
I have never got the women's. I use women's deodorant often.
Really? I use men's. Men's deodorant is way better, in my opinion.
You know, I like the smell of Secret. And if you're going to it, lots of times I get deodorant at Casey's.
Yeah.
And just on the.
Oh my God! Yes.
And it's $4 for a little tube, and I always get the Dove or Secret or whatever, because that's usually the only option.
They don't have anything else. I do that too because I'm so insecure about body odor, and I have 2 deodorants in my car. I have one in my backpack because the ones at Casey's specifically, I always buy those, and then I tell myself it's fine, you'll earn it back in points.
Are you
do you do Casey's rewards?
Are you a No, I don't. Which
damn.
if I have to go sign up for something, it's not gonna. I look at at Baker's, they just hand you a card every
That's nice.
I have 25 Baker's cards because I never keep them. Each time I go in, I get a new card.
Yeah,
I'm I've never been here before. But at Casey's, if you got to get online. Nah,
that's crazy. You're missing out, dude. I've bought large pizzas from Casey's with my rewards free.
I mean,
it's a good discount.
Can you sign me up?
I can definitely help. I'm surprised.
I can sign myself up.
No,
Megan would be like, "You're asking people to sign yourself up for Casey's rewards."
I remember when the first time I found out about me and Lauren were coming back from Des Moines, and we went inside, we were both went to the bathroom, and it was on the inside of the stall. And we walked out and at the same time looked at each other and were we should sign up for the rewards. It's a good deal. I think for every point, it's $1. I don't know.
And see, somebody told me that Zins, tobacco, that those have points that you can get.
Yeah.
And I was but that gives me, I'm already addicted to something.
It gives you an incentive to keep going.
Yeah, I'm just going to be well, this is a financial decision, buying this tub of Zins today.
I want to do it for the look, the aesthetic of having Zins. When I see people, I don't know, my friend Maddie, she uses Zins and she just looks cool when she does it.
Do you want a Zin? I do have some.
I'll do it on is it going to make me look, honestly?
I don't want to make you sick on the. Is this peer pressure on a pot? Can we do that? I have
what
Zin
flavor is it?
They're the 6 mils instead of the 3s. I don't want you to do a puke.
I would do it for the.
What if it'll make you floaty?
I would do it for the pod.
You'll do it for the pod?
I would do it for the pod.
Do you do nicotine?
I sometimes smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I hit a vape.
Do you like it? Obviously not that much of it sometimes. Is that a drunk thing for you?
It is a drunk thing for me. But, I didn't get home till 4 in the morning. I'm still kind of off a buzz right now. It could hit nicely. I'm just kidding. No, it feels like when you ask someone who's if you're underage, it feels like I'm asking an adult for alcohol right now. I feel like a minor.
This is going to sound terrible. I have given kids dip dips of tobacco before. But it's like...
What's the context? Are you related?
Rodeos.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But it's like kids that you just saw, they're like, my can's empty.
Oh, they've been doing
it. They're 13, but they're out. So I'm just like, well, they're already... I haven't done that in a long time. I'd be like, yeah, I guess I'll let you take a dip.
The Zins do seem more palatable than the chew, like the big. That I don't know. It's just something. It seems.
It is.
Yeah,
it definitely is.
Yeah, it seems a little icky. I think it's the having to carry around the cup too.
Yes, that's yeah. It's not a good. It's not a good look. Don't dip. Don't give kids dip.
Unless you're at the rodeo.
Yeah, at a rodeo they'll be. I mean, I bet the youngest. I bet I've seen a 10-year-old dip.
That's so funny to me.
Yeah, they'll all be these because I used to work youth rodeos.
Yeah,
like they would.
Okay.
So it's all there's not anybody there over 16, and you'll just see a bunch of kids saying "fuck" and dipping Copenhagen in the back of the. I mean, that's very.
I want to meet these.
As
kids.
all goes.
I like that. I like that style of child. I wish more kids grew up like that. I feel like, do you know what I'm saying? This nation is weak. We need more kids doing youth rodeo.
Yes, and dipping and drinking.
Saying bad words.
Yeah. They all
cusses.
do that. We just want them to do it at the rodeo.
Yeah.
Don't do it out in public. Go enter.
The rodeo seems, I think I've only ever been to one rodeo, and it was like in New Mexico. I don't know. I need to indulge myself in that culture. It seems interesting.
There's a couple good ones in Omaha. They do a big one that's fun. That it's an actual entertainment thing. Like you can go see. They'll have good specialty you'll see people do. Mm-hmm. There's a guy with dogs that ride monkeys ride the dogs.
That's crazy.
He's got like sheep dogs and monkeys ride them, and then they gather sheep, and it's just little monkeys riding dogs around the arena.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't even know how you conceptualize, like, this is what we want the monkeys to do. And then how do you I don't know. My brain can't fathom that.
He's got it queued up, though. They bring out a flag, the monkeys go around, then he cries at the end and talks about how much he loves his dogs, America, and the monkeys. Yeah, people go...
He cries on cue.
Yeah, rodeo is very much give it up for the troops.
I love that.
It's very patriotic. So any act, if you're a bad clown, a bad anything, if you give it up for God or the troops afterwards, you can go a long ways in rodeo.
That's really funny. So wait, what did you do in the? Were you a?
I a few different things. I was a rodeo clown for a little bit.
Okay.
I entered some stuff. I used to just work for a guy where I would be the guy in the back loading all the animals. Like I'd haul them there. I was very much a grunt guy in the game.
The rodeo clown. That's so interesting. Have you ever seen baskets?
Yes, a few times.
Okay. It's not accurate.
No, it actually really? Has some. Yeah, it's not that inaccurate. But I didn't get to it. I don't know why I didn't get into it, but it's not that off.
Yeah.
Other things are way more off than that. They did pretty well with that.
That's so interesting. So you were a rodeo clown before you did comedy?
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah, off and on. The reason I started doing comedy was because was not a good rodeo clown. And I was
were you a bad rodeo clown?
I was uncomfortable on the microphone. I wasn't funny. I just didn't know how to. So I was like, I read a book about Martin Short, and they were talking about improv. Okay. So then I found improv in Des Moines.
Oh,
and
nice.
I went and did that, and then I went to comedy, and then I was like, I don't want to be a rodeo clown. And then I did comedy.
That's cool. That's a funny transition, but I mean, obviously now it pays off. You have great bits about it.
Yeah, about everything I do now. Sometimes I'm like, I'm just doing this so I can talk about it later.
And I think that's the best, though. Is that why you have? Is that why you've picked up bowling? You want to start
No. Those are like golf and bowling. Those are just satisfying my like obsessive need to do something repetitive for hours on end and not think.
Bowling is one of those like things where I genuinely can do it for hours. It's so satisfying to play the game.
Right.
And I prefer I like going with groups, but it's one of those I can just go by myself and have fun. I wish bowling alleys opened at 6 a.m. because I would be there.
Me too.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things, though, I've accepted, like, I'm just doing this nobody wants to hear me talk about bowling or golf or nobody likes, in the right concept, but, like, they're not waiting for or just crazy stuff doesn't happen. People are just drinking beer and bowling.
You're not wrong. I also think that, like, when I was like younger, I like competed in like the leagues, and I do think that the like subculture of like bowling league parents, like youth bowling, I think it's just really funny. It's so competitive, especially because I started in Alabama, and there's nothing to do except compete in bowling and like fish and stuff. There's things to do, but like that's kind of the apex.
Right. And I haven't gotten into, you're way deeper than me, so you might be like, wait, bowling's gonna get crazy. You just wait, Walsh. Like, you're gonna get your mind blown.
I'm telling you, you have to get into the leagues.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I asked yesterday, and the guy was like, he goes, do you have bowling friends? And I wouldn't be asking him how to get into a league if I did, first off. And I was like, I have friends that want me to find bowling friends. So I quit talking to them about it. Because they're like, I'm going like, I get bored during that. I'm like, I'm going to go bowl by myself for an hour and a half.
It's so, and I want you to know you do have a bowling friend. I will be the bowling friend.
Oh, I know. I'm ready.
Yeah,
we need a league team.
I really want to do the leagues. I'm ready. What is your average right now? What's it looking like?
I always break 100, and then I've had a few games in 150 to 180.
Yeah.
Like 187.
Yes.
In the past couple, but it's still.
Gotta.
But it's usually over 100.
See, I want to see, because I used to like bi-weekly, or not bi-weekly, but like twice a week. Is that I don't know. I would I was getting like coached by like for bowling, so I feel like I have an eye now. So if I could see what's going on the lanes, if I could make critiques, I could help you improve the game. You could
be the mentor.
That's what I'm saying. I want to mentor the comedy scene in bowling.
Just mentor me.
Okay,
so I can kick the comedy scenes.
It was so satisfying on my birthday. Like, me and a couple comics met up and we went bowling, and it just felt really good to do better than all of them.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, wow, years of my childhood preparing for this really paid off.
And
beating Cameron specifically felt really good.
Comics are a little bit like doing sports with homeschool kids.
What do you mean?
For the most part.
What do you mean?
Like, they don't. Did you grow up around some homeschool kids at all?
I went to a private school, and so I don't know if it's like.
There's probably some parallels.
Yes.
But there's all homeschool kids think they're great at every sport.
That is every comic. Yeah.
Was Ben Putz a homeschool kid? This is for Ben Putz.
He was I think he did private school, I want to say.
Okay.
But he has that mentality as well, though. He does. He thinks he is really good at everything.
But they'd be like the baseball game after church, the pickup game.
Yeah.
And it would be for fun, but there'd be like 6 homeschool kids that were like, no. We do this with the brother and sisters every day. You're going down. I can't throw very well, but I think I do.
Because all like the angst and anger, I feel like, of just competitive rage, I feel like it's just building, it comes out.
Right. And you only get to, like, if you're homeschool, you're only doing it with your family.
Yeah.
So you hate each other every day. Like, you don't get the social cues of being on a team sport and going,
yeah.
I am not, this didn't mean to be anti-homeschool.
No, that's what it is.
I grew up with a ton of homeschool kids, and I was the one public school.
I'm sorry. I'm fixing my chair because I feel extremely low.
I was the one. We were the one public school family, so we were almost like the secular people in our church.
Oh, really?
Like we were of the world.
That's really. I'm sorry. The use of that verbiage really just takes me back to like just secular. Yeah, of the world. Yeah, ungodly.
Jocelyn, I feel like you were lower.
Dude, I swear, like I tried to fix it, and then like I was like, I don't want to mess up the flow right now, but like Tyler is like towering over me right now. I don't know how to fix it. I'm sorry.
Do you want me to like slide my foot under you, prop it up for you? Do you need a kickstand?
I can't wait to go back and watch.
Now that one's gonna have no suspension.
I don't need suspension.
I like the bounce on. You don't have any bounce.
Bro, I had all sync, no bounce. I was like, I felt like I was really low the whole time, but I'm like, I'm not gonna say anything.
You just grew. We're in the same frame now.
Oh my, like I can't wait to go back and watch and see how like I felt like it was like just the table and then like my head just like right. Okay.
Peeking over.
Yeah, it was I'm sorry. You kept it cool though. I was like, he's still going. I'm sinking, but we're back. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You were homeschooled.
No, I was not.
Oh, I thought you were saying
I was the public school kid
Oh,
at my church.
oh.
We were the outcasts because we were public school.
public school. Yeah.
Yeah, we had social cues.
So wait, what denomination of church did you go to?
Faith Bible. We're a Bible church. We pulled that non-denominational stuff. where
Everyone
we were
tries it.
We're just about Jesus. Only Jesus.
But then there's rules.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, this is specific.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what like I grew up Southern Baptist, and even they're like pretty devout, but their whole thing is like we just go by the Bible. That's the whole shtick.
It's very, yeah.
I grew up. It was very. I remember like I got in trouble because I was listening to Lord, like the singer, and my mom was like, "This is blasphemy." Like, also I wasn't allowed to wear like skinny jeans until like sophomore year of high school.
We had a similar type.
Yeah.
Upbringing. Like my sisters worked at a Bible camp that was affiliated with our church. My sister got in trouble during worship. She was bopping too hard. Like they didn't like they didn't like contemporary Christian music.
Okay.
Like, there was too much. Like you couldn't get too into it.
It had to be like.
Yeah, you had to be real hymny. And she was also told that she was speaking too much as a woman.
That's crazy.
And this was like, she's 27, so this wasn't that long ago. She was told that she should just take a back role in the leadership and that the men should speak more, and then she should just kind of be there after the service.
Oh my gosh. That's actually, I don't know how did she respond to that? Like,
I'm not going to that camp. Being done with that camp,
like, I'm good. Yeah.
She's now a liberal Christian.
Wow, I don't know what that means.
It just means she's not a Trumpy Christian.
All right, nice. That's growth. That's something, yeah. That's better, I guess. That's good.
It just means, like an open Christian. Like,
open.
We can be, I don't even know what that means. A poly-Christian.
Poly-Christian. Non-binary Christian. All right, take that out. I'm just kidding. So you grew up in what small? You were from Iowa. You're not from.
No, I'm really not that far.
Yeah,
hour and a half into Iowa towards Sioux City.
Okay, cool. And then I don't know. I feel like you doing comedy, you just hit so well, and especially like small towns. So, do you have like favorite small towns that you perform in?
No, not to be honest. I like performing in the city better.
Really?
I do like small town shows.
I feel like everyone when I've seen you in a small town setting, everyone's just so familiar with you.
Sometimes it's not as weird. Or,
yeah.
I mean, it's not as, I kind of like young, I like I like weird, like I like going into a crowd that doesn't expect it.
Yeah.
But sometimes in a small town, I feel like,
Yeah. I've seen people get like familiar, but I've also seen people like fangirl over you because you do the radio, obviously. And I feel like they recognize you and come up to you. I'm thinking specifically of like a woman from that show we did at the Tavern in Lincoln.
Oh, yeah. I think I remember. Was that me, you, and Nick?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a small town, right?
It was, I mean, Lincoln, like the Tavern downtown.
Oh, I don't remember that. I was thinking we did that one in like Valley or somewhere.
My gosh, it was that coffee shop?
Yes.
I was so anxious because I felt like I had never, like, I don't think I've ever done any shows with Nick before. And I was like, is it okay if I say bad words in front of these old ladies? Oh, thank you. But I was like, I'd never seen like Nick's set before either. And so it's just funny that I was like, is it okay if I say bad words? And he's like, I'm going to be talking about butt stuff. So
yeah. And then Nick says queef directly after you.
That place was so cool. I think they shut down. I'm pretty sure.
And that's the small town shows. That had a little city. Yeah. That had a little progressive influence in it in a small town.
Didn't at first. That's why like I feel like the older crowds in Nebraska, they go one of two ways. They're either like super cool and like progressive, like especially like I feel like in Grand Island, it'll be an older crowd, but they'll be like down. And then sometimes I feel like there's been crowds that have come to Backswing that are like older and they're like tighter and don't want to loosen up to some things. But
yeah, it changed. I can't remember his last name, but it always surprised. He's the liberal Southern guy.
Southern.
He's pretty big. Anyways, he does the Funny Bone and different things, but his crowd always blows my mind because they're people that look like me, or they're like belt buckles and Western shirts in 60.
Yeah.
But they're liberal. And I'm like, where have you guys been my whole life?
That is so
I've never met, like, he pulls out some sort of a city kind of blue collar, like a progressive old crowd.
Yeah.
That's also like, we'll go to a Baumgars and have a beef stick. But I'm like, where are you at? I've been looking for you.
Yeah, you're like, I need these people. Oh my God.
I just like everything, just whoever.
Yeah. I like those fun people. I just feel like, yeah, there's been some tight crowds at Backswing where I'm like, it's that crowd that you get strictly off of Facebook. I feel like that can sometimes be tight.
Right. And I think breweries in general can kind of be weird. It doesn't really have a type necessarily.
Yeah.
Or would you say it's getting more not? So breweries are kind of whoever now.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't been to, you headline Zipline, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I haven't been down to Zipline to like compare like the brewery crowds, but Backswing has been just super. Yeah, I don't think like two crowds have been alike. I haven't seen like New Year's, the crowd, we had like over 200 people there, and it was like everyone was really cool, very fun. But then like we had a comic, Mark Yaffe, come through, and he is a clean comic. And that crowd, I bombed horrifically for 20 minutes. It was very, very bad.
Did he pull people there?
Yeah, he did.
So, yeah, you were probably it was probably a pretty conservative cruise shippy crowd, right?
Yes, yeah.
He's a cruise ship guy.
Ship comic, yeah. Yeah. And I felt bad. Yeah, I told him, but I felt like I warned him beforehand. I was like, I don't do a completely clean set. And he's like, it's fine. So, I don't know. But, that bomb sits with me. It's okay.
And there's a difference between, I don't think of you as like a dirty comic.
I don't think so either, but I feel like I do talk about things where I'm like, that's not, I don't know. I'm not like perfectly, I feel like I do swear too, but I don't know.
I try to tell people, it's so much in just like how you present it.
Cleaner, yeah, you're more of a cleaner comic. I think you have jokes that I've heard that have been like, dirtier, but they're not. I don't even know.
I do have some. I always have. It goes both ways. Like sometimes I'll think I'm dirty or not, and then that's not that's not dirty at all. But I definitely do have some bits, but I just am very selective about. I'm like, this is the room that I can
do this in.
Or this is the I'm careful to pick those things.
Yeah,
I'm always kind of self-editing. And I'm just like, I don't know. Yeah,
I get it. I will say, not to bring up Nick again, but I felt a lot better about I was like, okay, I'm not, I don't know, I felt more comfortable. When someone's like dirtier than you, you're like, okay, this is fine.
Oh, yeah. And Nick, Yeah. That was a good set for Nick's crowd.
Nick's crowds are always really fun. I'm excited. He's coming to Backswing again to do, I haven't seen it yet, but Blazing Mics with Gary Curtis. Which
that'll be good.
That just sounds like fun. I'm assuming it's just them two just riffing.
Yeah, I think they have a little bit of a method for it, but yeah,
That's cool.
I think it's kind of a riff show.
That's fun. I feel like that's what people are like getting more into nowadays. I mean, obviously with like clips and stuff online, people like the crowd work and like come to see that, I feel like.
Yeah, people seem to like loose stuff.
Yeah, when you look like you're in the even though I do feel like that is hard and I am scared to do it unless I'm like at an open mic and I don't care.
Right. And I think what a lot of people, even the most riffy people, there's always a point.
There's something, yeah.
They have even like the crowd working, there's they're getting to a specific, they're in mind where they're trying to steer you to go.
Yeah.
Because there are times where I'll be like, oh, I can just go. I'm going to say the first, I'll go up and be like, oh, this thing. And then I'm like, oh, Jesus.
Why did I do that?
Yeah.
No. Or I don't know. Sometimes it goes well. I love like, I've said this before, but like, I feel like Heather Jones is a good example too of like, I feel like when she goes up, she just like will say the first like couple things that's on her mind. And it always hits very well. It's very funny. But I like someone that like picks apart the room. I always think that's cool.
Sometimes some people are great, and sometimes I am okay at the first, I'll make this little thing funny that comes, start just without a plan.
Yeah.
But then a lot of times I'm just gone in it, and they're just like, no.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you just start with a joke, dumbass?
I feel like it also like depends on the venue too. Like if I'm like in a chill spot, like just I don't know, dive bars, I feel more comfy. Whereas like we did, it was a show at the theater in Council Bluffs. I can't remember the name of it. The Pace? I don't know.
Not sure.
It was beautiful. I mean, it was a new building, but I was like so intimidated. Anytime there's like you've done the Holland?
Yes.
Or you've done like theater. Is that a different mindset for you doing like bigger theaters like that?
It takes a lot to get. Yeah, it's hard.
Does it
it's not hard. It can either be real.
Is it nerve-wracking?
Yeah, things take a little bit. I'm already a slow person, I feel like. My voice is slow. And they say things like you're supposed to you have to pace yourself more so everything hits.
Yeah.
Because it does sometimes when you tell things, it takes a little bit to make its way around that big room.
Yeah.
So sometimes when people tell me to slow down, or, I'm like,
what do you mean
they're like,
slow? Like, what do you mean?
I know. And when I think I'm going really fast, I'm like, oh, I bet I just sound normal. But in my head, I'm just like, I'm blazing. I'm going way too fast. And I think they're just like, wow, this guy's slow.
That's funny. I will say I had a fangirl moment when I found out that you were like doing shows with Noel Miller. I was a big fan. He's a part of my morning routine. I watch like Noel and Cody Co videos while I do my makeup.
He's pretty cool.
He is. Yeah. I've been listening to Tiny Meat Gang for a while, but that was, I was like definitely peeping your story when you were on.
And that was, and I don't fit with him.
I thought it's such an interesting. I always wanted to know like how that happened because he came to Funny Bone, right?
Yeah.
Is that how you guys met?
They like weird stuff.
Yeah.
And it was just weird to them.
Yeah.
And they were just into it.
That's.
But yeah, it doesn't really. And I've had it real hit and miss with his crowds.
Really?
Some like at the beginning, it felt like everywhere was Crush.
Yeah.
But then there were times it got to be where they're just like, oh, this guy. Like I would go into it. Depended. Midwest wise felt pretty, but once I got a little bit out to some of those, I was just like, I am way out of my element on knowing.
Oh wow, that's
I was doing donkey basketball jokes in San Jose.
That's so
California with them, and they were just like, it went, yeah.
Yeah, because I do feel like his crowd is like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like it's like people my age. Like he pulls like people that maybe grew up watching him or like on YouTube and stuff.
It was with him. I was in Salt Lake City, And because lots of girls.
Yeah.
And
that show up to the shows?
Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
And lots of everybody,
Yeah.
but lots of girls really crush over him.
Yeah.
And I was selling koozies outside, and she said, oh, you're funny. I'll buy. She's like, here's the deal. Or she's like, can you get me a picture with Noel? And he doesn't do meet and greets.
Oh, really?
And I was like, no, I can't do that. I'm sorry. He's not coming out. And she goes, come on, please. I said, no. And she goes, I'll buy one of your koozies if you can get me a picture with him.
That's crazy.
It's a $5 beef stick koozie. And I go, I can't do that. And she snaps and goes, don't you think it's sad that you have to sell koozies to make a living?
Oh, my
I was like, I think it's the most incredible thing ever that I'm that I'm going to pay rent from selling a beef stick koozie to a bitch in California.
That's crazy that she said that.
Yeah, she said, I was just like, and the manager, he actually piped some of that, because I was just like, what?
She went from...
I was like, no, I've had a lot of sucky jobs. Selling a koozie is the easiest thing I've ever done.
What's the worst job you've ever had?
Oh, there's lots. And working with pigs is the worst.
Yeah?
That would mainly, hog barns are awful. That's probably one of the worst jobs.
Nothing I've ever done in my life could compare to that. That's
you
grueling
stink
work.
all the time. I mean, it stays in your body. Like you cannot work with them for a week and take a drink at the bar, you know, and you can shower, you do whatever you want, but it still just emits out of your skin all the time.
So yeah, I would say, and knowing that, selling a koozie is
a koozie says something dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
to get a picture is crazy.
I'm not selling koozies for autism or some good charity. It's this is a dumb thing about Slim Jims.
The beef steak. That's funny. And also the fact that she thought that would be a fair trade. $5.
Oh, yeah. Or that and what am I? Hey, Noel Miller, really famous person with millions of people. You want me to do well on koozies, right? Get out here. Like, you're really...
I gotta secure this sale real quick.
You wanting your privacy is really affecting my bottom koozie line right now.
That's so funny.
Would you please get out here?
Oh, my gosh. That is cool. Would you, I don't know, San Jose, doing that, I don't know, that kind of, that crowd. Do you like just staying in the Midwest, or are you more interested in going on either coast?
I like how it goes when I stay
in the Midwest. Yeah.
I have east of the Mississippi, I struggle.
Yeah?
I'm getting better at that. But once it gets to more populated, more city, a little bit different, it takes me a while to. But I'm also somebody that just by nature, it's always been a little bit harder
sure.
Not necessarily harder, but I have to suck at it. You have to give me the opportunity to mess up so many times.
Yeah.
Or not. Just it takes me a lot longer to get comfortable.
Yeah, on stage.
Like some people right now are they'll be like, oh, we saw you a few years ago, and I'm not trying to offend you.
Stop.
Yeah, I'm getting like...
And then they're like, it was not...
They're like, you are so much better than you were.
The relief.
Right, because... this voice, Don Seeger told me once that, I used to never look at people in the eyes.
Okay.
This was a big, on stage, so I would stare above. And I didn't even know I was doing it, but I would just look in one spot at the back of the room and then do real slow. And, I'd pause. And he'd be like, you have to look at people, man. You're freaking us out. And I didn't know. So now I look at, but I'm just like,
can't see it.
My big thing, I like it to be completely dark.
Yeah, to where you just look out into abyss. There's nothing.
Right. My mom is one of the moms jumping on the my kid has autism train right now.
Oh, really? Is she for you?
Oh, yeah.
That's so
totally. She just ran. She's like, I've been watching TikToks.
Yeah.
And she's like, when you told stories when you were little, you would never blink and had the same tone of voice.
Also, her realizing this late in life, she's like, I think you might have.
Oh yeah, it's trendy right now.
I think it's especially because like we're in the age of everything is a spectrum. Like my family, it runs, so I'm definitely genetically I'm set up to have it, and I do get accused of it. But it's like there's no way to combat it. Just being like, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was like. Well, what do I do now? Just keep being weird. Yeah. I don't.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not gonna get on. And this is how uneducated I am. I'm like, do they medicate?
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah,
I'm not taking a pill.
Yeah. I don't think there's autism medicine. I'm not sure.
I'm so scared of people who are smarter than me that will listen to this and hear me say that. Because I feel like, okay.
That's how you get engagement.
Do you have to take medicine for autism? I want to look it up.
There's probably different route. Yeah, but my eye contact was supposedly one of those.
One of them.
But now I'm a better presenter. But it took
time.
A long time. And still has But I think the best compliment any comedian can get, and some people, if I ever write something I'm going to out myself. Whenever just in case I've ever wrote anything, but when I judge like a Clash.
Yeah.
Like, just needs more stage time.
Yeah.
To me, and I don't put it that way, just needs more, but I'll say something like lots of, but that's the best thing to me. Anybody like, oh, I can fix that.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Somebody said once, has some decent jokes or could be really funny, but needs a crap load of stage time.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, oh, I can fix that.
Yeah.
Like but like if I'm just not, if they're like, you just fucking suck.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know how to fix that. But they're like, oh, it's there. You just got to get it. And then that in my brain is like, oh, I can go repetitively do this thing. And it'll eventually
get reps in.
Yeah.
I appreciate the notes from Clash, even though like the first Clash I did, I hold it against Jake Park. I lost by 1 point. It is what it is. I almost wish Zach did not tell me that because it made me like a little pissed. But the most recent one that I did, I was moving around a lot. Like I was like, I think I was like anxious or something, but I was just like, it was too much of me looking at everyone and like just not being chill and like standing still. But like once I got off stage, I was like, I know that that's gonna be on there because I was just moving around way too much. But,
and that stuff, yeah, it's like moving the mic stand.
Yeah,
not moving. And when I started, I paced a lot.
Yeah,
And a guy told me, is like, that you're big, you're just stand there. So then I took that's when I got real.
Yeah.
And then anything that happened in the room, I wouldn't move, wouldn't step. I just, I was like, oh, I'm just going to be this big rock here.
Yeah, which I think it works. I mean, like, I couldn't imagine you. I would think something was wrong if I saw you pacing on stage.
Yeah, I wouldn't. But like I did a corporate on Saturday.
Uh-huh.
And I'm pretty used to everything going wrong. But they said that they had no microphone.
No. That's crazy.
They had a mic. It went when the guy went up to do like their company awards.
Yeah.
It was squawking, and then he had to yell. I was like, oh, this is going to be a long 45 minutes.
Yeah, with
no
mic.
But then I go really into like kindergarten teacher mode. I'm just...
Yeah, just... really animated.
I'm picking at one point I had my jug and I was like, and just
having to like project. How many people were there?
75 in like a golf course banquet room.
So it was
like
closed.
Yeah, it was probably a room that fit 150.
Okay.
But kind of spread out, so I just kind of had to go into presenter mode.
Yeah, made it work without the mic. It is funny showing up to like gigs and then just everything not working. Like we the most recent show, me and Cam Zach, we went to Grand Island, and I did a sound check. Everything was working fine, and they were bragging about how they had this like sound technician come in and like set everything up, and then I'm like 2 minutes into like my host set and the mic goes out, and then the guy, it's not even like a quick little like, oh, I just have to tweak this. He's like, no, we have to like change out the chords and everything. And I was like mid joke. And it was like, I just was like, do I stand here? Like, I genuinely didn't know. I was like, I started talking to the crowd, but it was like one of those things where I was like, I don't know what to do in this. Like, do I just keep telling my jokes while he's actively like fixing all the sound. I don't know. It was a mess. Cameron got a nice video of it that is just me bombing for 30 seconds.
And then, and you bomb, 100 more times that way. And then the next time you'll be like, wow, you really know how to handle bad situation. Like, yes, because I've been kicked in the head 1,000 times trying to do this.
Sorry, go ahead.
Nick Allen used to say my favorite thing about, he's like, I'd be like, oh, that sucked. And he would say something about, he's like, you're just putting calluses on your comedy nuts. And he's like, you just get them thicker and thicker and thicker, and then nothing can hurt you. It just can't get through that callus.
That's disgusting.
It is disgusting.
But also very accurate. That's
just like,
that's perfect.
So now he told me that, so every time I have a bad show, I'm like, it's all right. I thickened the callus on my comedy nuts.
Let's go. That's great. I was going to ask you, like, do you have, is there, like, gigs that, like, live in your brain that, like, maybe you've bombed, like, nightmare situations?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Any that all come to mind off the top?
The Little Rock Looney Bin in Arkansas. Worst weekend of my whole life.
A bar called the Looney Bin? That's crazy.
The club.
Oh, it was a club?
It was a club.
Okay.
It was the worst.
No.
I just absolutely, and I had to, since it is known as a sucky room.
Yeah.
And I've had other comics since where they've commiserated, like somebody be like, oh man, I had a rough set at the Looney Bin. I'm like, come here so we can hug. Tell me about, like, I'm still thinking about how miserable that was.
That's nice when it's like a common feeling too. What were like the factors that contributed?
Well, first, when I got there, I was all excited. I was like, man, they had a comedy condo.
Oh, okay.
And I thought, I was all pumped. I was like, I'm getting about that condo life. I was just getting started doing some road clubs. I was like, this is what the old headliners talk about, the condo stuff. And I'm telling the headliner, I'm like, oh, this is great. Great to be at a club. And I bomb. I bombed so hard that night. It's awful. We come back and we're sitting there. And then I'm like, well, it's nice being in this nice house. And then a roach the size of my iPhone crawled across the floor, and I was like, gah! And the headliner's like, yeah, man, I don't want to burst your bubble earlier, but this place sucks. The whole weekend, I stayed perched on my bed.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be, I was like, gah! I hate bugs, roaches.
I do too.
And I've lived with all of them, and that's why I'm just over it now.
I don't have to do this anymore.
And and then that whole weekend was awful. The club owner come up to me one point. He's like, hey man, if you're going to be successful at my club, bring some more dick jokes tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's actually terrible. That's crazy.
It's like I was like, oh, they like bad comedy here.
Oh yeah. Oh,
and they do love bad comedy.
Yeah.
Like the I don't want to talk too much crap.
You're still trying to get those bookings at Looney Bin.
No, I'm not. That's the one place I'm like,
it's fine if I never go.
And see, there are some comics that are just like, oh, all work, you have to keep, and I just
not worth it.
I'm not gonna burn the bridge, but I don't. I'm like, if they don't, yes,
it's fine. Yeah.
Like, I'll be happy not going back.
I don't know why. Have you read Sam Tallent's Running the Light?
Yep.
Like
I audibled it.
Oh, nice. But it just, like, whenever I hear about shit gigs, I just always, like, think about, I feel like he just wrote about those hell gigs. Like, he described them very well. And then when I hear comics talk about those, I'm always like, it's accurate.
Yeah, and when I started comedy, I was doing house shows on, like, Ames.
Really?
And Sam was the OG of shitty shows.
Yeah.
Like, I'll still remember them coming out. Like, the house shows were fun. They were. But these guys were making very little money. He would come out with weed. They would say, hey, that's how they were getting home, as they would then peddle bags to the Iowans.
That's so punk rock.
They have done cool. And he took his kickings in some way rough, weird shows.
That's cool. I mean, I would honestly like, I just like hearing people's stories about that. Those are fun. But I haven't done a insane, I mean, there's like a couple house shows like in Lincoln that I've done, but I would like to do more. I kind of like the weird, like, I don't know the word for it. Just, it's not normal to be in someone's kitchen doing comedy, but it's cool.
Yeah, I've always had fun on house shows.
Yeah.
Ames was like Lincoln.
Yeah.
As far as like Des Moines was a little bit of a bigger scene.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that.
And then Ames would have would have house shows and kind of cool, would have anything.
Yeah.
And, I was similar in Lincoln, like a little bit smaller scene, but they did cool stuff. Nice. And they had things like that, but there you could count on fun house shows, backyard shows, things like that.
I like doing, doing comedy in someone's backyard would be cool. Besides like house shows though, what's like the weirdest place you've done stand up?
Oh, I don't. County fair, like I've done it in arenas. As far as just like a dirt arena, I did it in South Dakota. We did a show where it was a nut fry for an oil company. They had fresh walleye and Rocky Mountain oysters, and we were in a shop, and the mic was set up next to a cherry picker with an engine on it. And there was sawdust on the floor, and people were just spitting their chew wherever.
That's insane.
That was a great show.
That's cool. That sounds really fun.
It was just a farm.
Yeah.
And we were just in the shop.
That's awesome.
I've done quite a few of just shops and things like that with whatever the private thing is.
I like
and
that.
I mean, yeah, Nick just did on a trailer in a field.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done some outdoor stuff like that.
That would be cool. I say that we set up a show at a bowling alley.
What bowling alley?
I don't know. Let's do chops. Let's see if they want live comedy.
There's no side room in that, though.
No, we'll do it as people are bowling.
Oh, that would...
Just like the crack of pins.
Could do like the heckle thing that they do with golf.
What's that?
They have like comedians... When people on a certain hole for like a charity tournament or stuff like that, when you're on that hole, you have 3 people just talking shit to you.
Oh my gosh.
While and they have videos of like the guy will get hit and then they just roast them.
That's literally, I love that. I love that idea because that's what I've been trying to get Backswing to do. I mean, this is a concept that Ethan and Ben like have done before, but I think that Backswing should do it. But it's beer pong, but you have people commentating like over it, talking shit. I just think, I don't know, commentating over whatever, like a shitty sport, or like, what's the bags? You throw the bag. Cornhole. That could be really funny as well.
I think cornhole would be fun.
I tried to get Backswing to let me, I don't even know how this would work, but like I wanted to do like speed dating kind of thing. But like, have you ever seen, it's like The Button on YouTube, but it's 2 people that meet up and it's like their first date or whatever and they talk. But then you have like a third person like commentating and interrupting them and making it funny.
Yeah, you can make that. I bet that'd be cool.
I think it'd be funny, but they were like, we don't know if we really do that thing here. And I'm like, do you want my help or no? Like,
you're laying it down.
I want to do that so, but I'm actually on a show this Friday, and it'll probably end up being a complete disaster. But it's I was invited to be like the bachelorette of like I don't know what it is actually. It's at Storm Cellar, but it's like they're doing honestly sounds like my idea, but it's like a dating show. But I'm like the token gal. I'm terrified, and I'm probably not getting paid. So
is this is not a comedian thing?
I think it is a comedian thing, but the person who hit me up for it is like a musician. Okay. But he's friends with like the Lincoln comic, so I'm assuming it's associated. I didn't ask a lot of questions. I should have. But we'll see. I think that it would be funny to like record and do for clips, but I think just putting people in an awkward situation and then
shows close to home, you don't have to ask questions. You just have to be miserable once you get there.
I was telling a friend about it. They were like, wow, it sounds like an absolute shit show. And I'm like, I'm excited for it. It'll be fun. I will say we are kind of getting towards the end. We do have questions, because we have one soldier who is interacting with the account on Instagram who's submitting questions. Let's see. Okay. Well, you're sober, right?
Booze sober.
Booze sober?
Yeah. I'm now 6 days weed sober, but I'm 3 years booze sober. I don't want to be sober or say that because people get
sober.
yes.
Because the question said like how many beers to blank. So like how many beers to eat a cockroach. But I mean,
None. I mean, I've drank 30 packs of Keystone Light several times and still would never eat a cockroach.
Keystone Light. That's
I'll eat like a sausage I found on my floorboard, but I'm not going to eat a cockroach.
Even if, I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't, but also like I am a menace when I'm drunk. And if I was being like, if there were people around me being like, dude, just do it.
Yeah, you shouldn't be around those people. Don't be around.
Pick a different friend group.
Yeah, be around people that'll be like, hey, I found a piece of summer sausage in the couch. Eat this. And then eat that. Yeah,
Okay,
do that.
not a
Fine. That's gross.
cockroach.
But yeah, don't try to pick people that you don't think will make you eat creatures.
This one's really funny to me, but it's how many beers? It's so random to work at Chick-fil-A. I would do it sober.
Fast food sucks.
Yes, but it's
So
Chick-fil-A. I feel like that is the best fast food place to work at.
I honestly have maybe ate Chick-fil-A
Stop.
once in my life.
No way.
Yeah, once or twice. Wow. Was not grown up on Chick-fil-A.
Wow, I love Chick-fil-A. It's probably one of my favorite fast food spots ever. And the service is nice, and it's just clean, and it smells good, and it's just, I never worry about Chick-fil-A.
I'm going to pretend right now
Yeah.
that mine is for progressive reasons.
Yeah.
And I can be like, oh, I got one
Yep.
over. Yeah, I'm on that moral high ground.
All right, you win. This one is very aggressive, and I don't know. This one says, okay, how many beers or weed, I don't know, whatever's clever, to punch your mom in the face?
None.
None.
I don't. Yeah.
You have a good relationship with your mother.
How many old Englishes? How many old English 40s before you punch your mom? It's like how many hurricanes or high gravities? That's a malt liquor question. That's
all right. You heard it here, folks. Tyler Walsh does not support Chick-fil-A or domestic violence towards his mother. So you're making a good case for yourself.
Here, I have a question.
Go for it, Grace.
If there were a comedy movie with the two of you, who would play you guys? Actors.
Oh, actors. Ooh. That's a good one.
how about we pick each other's
Okay,
actors?
yeah, okay. Oh. That I feel like that's even harder.
I'm going to give you Drew Barrymore.
Wow. That's cool. That's really cool. Oh my gosh. I don't know.
Why Drew?
Yeah, this is good.
Bubbly. Drew, I like Drew Barrymore.
Let's go.
Funny.
She's got that talk show.
Wholesome. We'll say that.
Yes. This is nice. Ross also told me that I was wholesome. He was like, you think you're so evil. And I do. And it is nice to hear that I'm not.
Oh, yeah, you're just nice.
I like, okay, cool.
I'm not aware of anything bad we should say about Drew Barrymore.
I'm not either.
aware of
She's-
anything bad we should say about you. So just, we're
Same
giving
page.
you Drew.
All right, that's good. I guess I'm thinking we're going based on personality, not on looks, right? Or is it both?
Either or.
Oh God, that's even
Work
harder.
with what you can.
Based on your voice, I want to say Adam Sandler. You have
Oh.
very similar, like, deep voices.
You just remind me of my Uncle Mark.
I'm glad I get the non-actor to play my part. I'm glad that we're going to Alabama or wherever it is you're from and getting your Uncle Mark from the factory to play me with no acting experience whatsoever. Thank you. I gave you a very highly skilled, talented actress. Mine, we get the scrub for me. I bet Uncle Mark's great.
He's amazing. But that's really. I don't know why I couldn't think. Grace said Adam Sandler. That's pretty good.
Oh, yes.
That's good.
Thank
That's
you,
good.
Grace.
Yeah.
That made me feel good.
Yeah, I had nothing except literally all that was coming to mind was he reminds me of my Uncle Mark. You guys like are built the same, and yeah, I don't know. Just
Has he got acting chops?
Could.
I can't act.
He
though,
could.
So I know.
He could. I think you're selling yourself short.
I can't be anything besides me very well.
That's.
Yeah. Partly my old rodeo boss, when I was being a bad clown, would be like, "You suck at acting, so don't act. Just be dumb on purpose."
That's great. There's one more question, and then we'll do plugs. All right. This one says stand-up comedy and improv are great, but are there any comedy movies that could rival the hilarity of a comedy special? So, like, I guess saying, like, are there pretty much what...
I think all of them.
All the comedy movies beat a special. Yeah.
I'm not into comedy.
Have you seen
specials.
Bridesmaids?
I would rather watch a movie than a stand-up hour.
Really?
A special.
It depends.
I like to go watch live comedy, but I don't get into specials. I would think a movie would be
more funnier.
Yeah.
More funny.
Or
yeah.
just
Yeah, I can see that. I watch a lot of... It's like I watch specials for comics that I like, especially like if I can't see them live. Okay, good deal. Sorry, Grace. Yeah, for comics that I like, but other than that, yeah, movies are a lot better. Real quick, we will go ahead and do plugs. So if you have shows, social media, and stuff like that you want to say.
Yeah, I'm not sure when does this go up this week?
Goes up on Friday.
Okay. I'm at the Funny Bone in Des Moines with Tammy Pescatelli over the weekend,
yeah. That's
Friday
cool.
and Saturday.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
And then if you have your social media like handles.
I'm Tyler Walsh Comedy on all the socials, on Instagram and TikTok.
Nice. And yes, also keep interacting with the Just Jossin Around Instagram account and send questions and things like that. Other than that, I think we covered everything. Thank you, Grace. I'm sorry. All right. Thanks Tyler.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.